my life. This is such a bad story. I know that this is the reason why I've had so many heartbreaks in my life. Welcome back to my channel. If today's your first time here, my name is Chrissy. Hello and welcome. So in today's video, you already know what it is. Okay, we're doing plus size dating horror stories part 2. Y'all loved part 1. I was so excited because girl, I was nervous. I'm like, let me tell you people all my business, child. But I really love the fact that y'all were able to relate to me and the things that I've gone through on different dates and just swapping stories, child. These men out here need to get together. These men are a mess. But as I promised, okay, I'm coming back with part 2 because I just have so many stories and just so many things that go wrong. Honestly, I call my life sometimes just a series of unfortunate events because there just be so many things going on with me, child. For this episode, let me tell you, I got my little White Claw because it's about to get real ignorant. It's about to be a whole mess. I got like a few stories to tell y'all in this round, all right? So y'all already know what to do. If you are interested in seeing that, then keep watching. If you're not yet subscribed, babes, get it together. Honestly, get your life together. Press that subscribe button, press the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload. Follow me on all my socials at Chrissy B Styles and share your dating horror stories. Comment on mine. Just talk to your girl down below in the comments. Also give this video a thumbs up if you like it. It helps me so much. And let's just jump into my hot mess of a dating. Alright, y'all. So like I said, where did I leave off in last video? Oh, I left off with the story about how I was dating this white guy and we went to the movies together, whatever. So I have so many different stories about us dating, but I think I'll get to his towards the end because his are like a little less traumatic for me. So, remember I was telling y'all last time in the video that I had decided to experiment with some dating apps because, you know, it was like quarantine and I wasn't going out like that. I wasn't out at the clubs. I wasn't going out to the bars. I wasn't going to restaurants like that. I really wasn't going anywhere. So I was like, I'm bored. Let me get on a little dating app or whatever, okay? So I really freaking like Hinge and Bumble. I don't do either one anymore because I'm but I was doing Hinge and Bumble. So I met this guy. I can't even remember a dude's name. I can see his face clear as day. I cannot remember dude's name right now, but whatever, it's irrelevant. So I met this guy on Bumble and I was chatting up with him for a while. Conversation was real good. And he was like, all right, I want to see you. I want to take you out. I'm like, bet, okay? And I should have known. Let me just preface this story, okay? I like chocolate men, okay? I like brown skin to chocolate. You either brown skin to chocolate to dark skin or you're white, okay? I really don't, oh, this is gonna sound so bad. I really don't like light skinned men. It's just me. It's just a preference. Something about them I can't trust. If you're not Drake, something about him. But I was like, let me give him a chance. Vibes is cool. You know, he was nice looking, whatever. So we were talking and he wanted to take me out. I'm like, cool, okay? Now, for the first date we had, I did let him come pick me up from my place because at the time I had a roommate, and she was there and we had other people at our house at that time. I didn't let him come to my specific like apartment, but I allowed him to pick me up outside. And I don't do that frequently. I don't know why I decided to do it that time, but listen, we live and we learn, okay? So I let him come pick me up or whatever. And the first day was cool. Like he took me to get something to eat and then we went to this like really pretty like scenic overlook. It was super cold, which I think he did that on purpose because it was like his opportunity to kind of be like, you're cold, you want to get more? I'm like, why? Yeah, I got a sweater on. So yeah, first date was cool. I was like, okay, I'll give him a second date. So then then after the first day, obviously he was feeling the vibe. So he texted me and was like, I want to take you out again. I'm like, okay, cool. So in that first date, I noticed that when he pulled up, he didn't get out the car to open my door. And then I was like, I don't know, I didn't think much of it, but then I kind of did. But then I noticed, but then I was like, okay, maybe this is like something, like, you know, just, he forgot. And then when we got back, he also didn't park and get out the car to open my door. So I was like, this is a pattern. So the reason I decided to go on the second date is because I genuinely like wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to ask him like, what's that about? Because I just have certain standards, and I believe in chivalry. Like, I definitely believe in a man like coming to open my door. Like, you don't have to believe in that, but as for me in my house, you gonna open my door, and that's on period. So so he takes me out, we go to dinner. I guess, like, I think the day after, he was supposed to catch a flight, like, down south or somewhere, because he was going to transfer and go to another school, whatever, and it was during this time where, like, the weather was really bad, so they canceled his flight, basically. So when your flight is canceled, like, yes, that's horrible, it's a stressful situation. However, it's really not much you can do about it in the moment, except for get your refund or get whatever the airline is giving you or try to reschedule, right? This man, we get to the restaurant, we had a little bit of a wait, and then, so when we had the wait, we go in the car, and then he's on the phone with the airlines. I'm like, okay, that's fine. If he's on the phone with the airlines, like, I'm not really tripping. We're just waiting, right? So then we get called for our table. They sit me down. He's on the phone, mind you. This man had to have been on the phone with the airline for a solid hour, you guys. I kid you not. And at that point, I was like, it's a wrap. I'm really over it. But at the same time, I'm very hungry. Like, it's kind of late. It was probably like 8:30. I was like, a girl hasn't eaten. I got dressed. I look cute. I'm about to order me food. Like, I don't care what he over there doing. I'm about to order my food. And I'm a really understanding girl. Like, don't get it twisted and think that I'm not really understanding. I just felt like, you're on a date, dude. Like, deal with the airline after, because there really was nothing he could do. Like, even after him being on the phone for an hour, there was no different outcome than what he knew before getting on the phone. Okay? The flight was canceled. Period. There's nothing he can do. So I sit down, and my waitress is like, you want to wait for him? She's like, you look so beautiful tonight. I said, girl, let me put in my drink, because I don't know what he over there doing. I don't know how long it's gonna take him. I'm putting in my drink. Child, she bought my drink. I'm kicking it with the waitress. Honey, I think it was on my second drink by the time he got to the table, because I'm like, I'm just finna order. I'm gonna do me. Like, no. If anything, this is his punishment for doing that. I'm gonna rack it up. Order it up. So he comes to the table, and he's like irritated or whatever, and I get it, but it's like, sir, you're on a date. Like, try to pull it together. And I'm very, like I said, I'm very understanding. So I was trying to just like console him and just like, oh, it's okay, like, you're gonna get situated, and you know, you'll be able to make, you know, whatever it was at the time, I don't remember. So I'm like, do you want to order a drink? Because I'm like second drink in. At that point, I'm like a little lit. I'm ready to like get into it. So like, I'm asking him these questions. I'm like, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, one thing I noticed is that you don't open doors. And he went into this whole spiel about how he doesn't believe in open doors for women. And I'm just like, you know what? Cause no. Like, I thought I knew it was over when you did the whole hour on the phone thing. But now you're really telling me, like, you deliberately, on purpose, didn't open my door? All right, cool. So we're kind of going back and forth about that, and then we just, like, end up talking about, like, life things and things that I feel like you should be talking about, like, when you're on dates, as far as, like, beliefs and just, like, where you stand for different things. And I really realized, I'm like, oh my God, like, we do not agree on the same things. I'm over it. I'm really ready to go. Then, so I guess because he had like a couple drinks, he started feeling himself, child. Like, this man the balls. Like, this man had the audacity, like, to ask me, because my booty is so big, like, because my, you know, my thing is so fat, how does one maneuver basically hitting it from the back? And I'm like, I know I'm lit, but am I hearing things? Child, hold on. I was literally sitting there, I said, I know I'm lit, but then I'm hearing things? Like, did he really just ask that? I'm like, first and foremost, you're giving very, very small energy. You're giving very little energy, okay? And I'm just sitting here like, he's not serious. Like, he can't be serious because, first of all, that's so inappropriate to ask me on a second date, and I've never, ever brought up that anything sexually with you. Like, I wouldn't, and like, I don't know where he thought that was okay. And he will never be hitting anything from the back, side, front, anything. He ain't getting up under, he ain't maneuvering nothing. And I'm just like, first of all, this is so embarrassing for you. This is so embarrassing for you that this is even a question that you thought was okay to ask. It's embarrassing for you that this is a question that you even could ask. Like, it's just so embarrassing for you. So I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go. And thank God, like, I really do hate the fact that I rode with him, because, like, low-key, I was ready to, like, call me an Uber or call my roommate and tell her to come get me. But I was just like, I'm ready to go. Chill. I didn't have my 3 drinks. I had my meals. I had my leftovers. At this point, I wasn't even really done eating, but I was just like, I will eat it at home. Like, I'm very much ready to go, sir. So he's like, bet. And I'm really so glad that he was like not a creep. But I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I was a little bit nervous. Like, I really should have called an Uber. But the reason why, like, even in situations where, like, I guess this doesn't sound good either. I know some of y'all about to get on me in the comments, but even in situations where, like, I'm a little bit uncomfortable, or I was, like, looking back, I guess I wasn't so uncomfortable because I had my location on for my friends, so they knew exactly where I was, and I just had, like, a code word that I can send them. But I also understand that in certain situations, that doesn't always work, and things can happen really, really quick. So, like, from these experiences, I am learning how to better, like, maneuver certain things. Like, at this point, I'm driving my own car until, like, date number 3, 4. Because, no. Like, so he took me back home, and then he ended up getting out the car from my door. I'm like, sir, it's too late. Drive off. It's too late. You're not coming inside. I'm not talking to you again. I think he hit me up again after the day. I didn't even reply. No, I think I did reply, and I told him, because I'm really not the type to ghost people. So I told him, I was like, yeah, it's just not gonna work out. Like, I just really feel like there's too many differences between us. I felt disrespected at dinner when you asked me that question, that sexual question, which you will never ever in your life ever have a chance to, like, get me on that level. Boy, please, bye. Like, I was like, it's a wrap pretty much, and that was that. And moral of the story on that one is, ladies, I feel like, I don't think that was, like, a situation that was, like, directly connected to my weight, like, as far as being a plus size woman. I just think, like, that was him. Like, as far as not wanting to open my door or having that belief, like, that was a him thing. And that's things that we deal with as ladies, or men that are just, like, sex driven. You know what I mean? Like, ew. And it is a situation to where I should have just taken things into my own hands and just gotten up and left, because I'm good for it. Which leads me into my next story. Story number 2. Honestly, this might be the story that gave me a lot of karma. This might be the story as to why some things in my life just don't even be working out. Because low-key, it was me. No, okay, I'm gonna let y'all determine this. So, I was like friends with this guy on Instagram for a while. We were like talking on Instagram back and forth, you know. And then we decided like, oh, I was young. I was young here, like probably a freshman or sophomore in college, like young. So I was talking to this guy and I was like comfortable with him because I'm like, we talked for a minute like on Instagram through text, whatever. And then so we decided to like meet up and hang out. Now at that time, he had a car, but I think his car was like in the shop. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So he asked me if I could grab him from work and then like go to his place, and then he was just gonna like shower real quick, change, and then he's gonna take me to dinner. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Girl, I would never do that today. I would never do that today, please. Like, you're gonna call, like Uber wasn't a thing at that time, okay? So I picked him up and he was tall, honey. You know I love the talls. And he was cute, and like our conversation was really good over Instagram and over text and phone. So I was like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. So I picked him up, girl. He gets in the car and he gave me no bad vibes, but this man would not stop talking. He would not stop talking to the point where it was like I couldn't even get a word in. And like talking about himself, people I didn't even know, like he would not stop talking. And now that I'm looking back on it, I'm like, maybe he was nervous, but it made it like really unattractive. There was something about I was so bad for this. Lord, you know what? Thank you, Jesus, for growth. Thank you, Jesus, for growth. Because me back in the day was kind of a hot mess. But something about the way he was talking, I was like, I don't like it. It's giving female. It's very much giving catty. I feel like I'm talking to my good sis. Like, I didn't like that. Like, I don't mind you, like, being a talker because I love to listen to people. I love to get to know people. I'm a really big like advocate about like sitting back and observing and listening, because you get to know a person that way. You get to really see how a person thinks, moves, and operates. So I was just like, but it was something about, and he had a little lisp. I said, not a lisp, not a little lispy lisp. I was like, something about this. But anyways, your girl was dry. So I was like, yeah, I'm not really into this. I'm not really into this. So pulled up at his house. I'm like, yeah, go in the shower, get dressed or whatever. I definitely wasn't going to his house, please. So I sat in the car and I called my friend at the time, and she was older than me. So I was like, girl, I don't want to be on this date. Like, I just really don't want to be on this date. I don't know how. Not to my white claw child. I was like, I don't want to be on this date. Like, I'm really uncomfortable. Like, I'm just like not attracted to him. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this day. And she goes, are you in your car? I was like, yeah. She's like, do you have her keys? She's like, I'm like, yeah. She's like, leave. And I'm like, no, oh my God, that's so bad. Like, I can't leave. I can't just stand him up. Like, I'm a person, like, I be feeling so bad, you know? But she's like, leave. If you don't want to be there, you don't want to be on that date, text him something and then leave. So I was like, oh my God, but I didn't want to be on that date so bad. And the date hadn't really even started yet. Like, I would have had to go to the restaurant and sit at the restaurant and have a conversation and who knows what after the day. Like, I was like, I can't do it. She's like, leave right now, leave. Text him right now and leave. I'm staying on the phone. So I was like, oh my God, I gotta come up with something. Now, I would never do this today. This is me being young. I would just tell the truth, like today, you know? But at that time, I didn't have a nephew. I have a nephew now, but this was years ago before my nephew was even a thought, okay? So I didn't have a nephew, but I did have a niece. So I didn't want to say like, oh, something's going on with my niece, I gotta go. So I was like, oh, there's an emergency or something with my nephew, I gotta go. But I'm so sorry. Like, I just have to take off real quick, da da da. So girl, when I tell you I sped off, child, I've never driven so fast in my life. And luckily my friend I was on the phone with, she didn't live too far from where I was. So Child, I must have got to her house in maybe like 10 minutes. I was like, girl. And then when I got there, he texted me like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry about that. Da, da, da. And then he was like, well, let's reschedule. And I was like, here's the thing. This is such a bad story. I know that this is the reason why I've had so many heartbreaks in my life. I know this is it. Like, if he made his own separate horror story dating videos, I know he got this story in his mouth. But I was like, here's the thing. No. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what I told him exactly, but yeah, basically I left and I kind of stood him up and I felt really bad about that. And you know, I've had to pray for forgiveness because I just felt really bad about that. But being an adult now, I think like as women, we just take a lot of things that like, and endure a lot of things that we don't be wanting. You know, we just kind of sit through them and let things slide. And I think it is totally okay. And I think I said this in our last video, like, it really is okay to leave when you want to leave. When you feel uncomfortable, it's okay to leave. I would definitely tell the truth today, but it's really okay to leave. And now I'm a lot more like, I would say I have the gift of like intuitiveness and discernment. So like I'm a lot more like picky with who I give my time to. So like if I really give you my time, I'm really talking to like dating you, like I know like, you know, you're someone I'm gonna want to mess with. But I think back then I was just kind of like testing the waters to see who I liked or whatever. I was bored, whatever the case may have been. But I think it's totally okay to leave. Maybe not the way that I did, or it's okay to break things off, because as women we take a lot that we don't be wanting just because we want to be nice or we're afraid of what a man would do. And I think that's why it's so important to have a lot of like safety protocols and things set into place so you can kind of like keep yourself out of harm's way and out of certain situations. But child, I feel so bad. And listen, if he's watching this video, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And just know that I'd have been through it since then. Okay? I'd have been through it since then, if that makes you feel any better. If that makes you feel better, I have been through it since then. But alright, y'all, going into my third story. And this story, I would say, okay, it was a horror story for me. Like, it's nothing that he did to me, but it's a horror story for me. So, okay. So, remember the guy I was telling y'all about that I used to date, the white guy I used to date or whatever. And honestly, his race is pertinent. Is pertinent or what? Yeah, his race is pertinent to the story, okay? So, we went, where were we? Oh, this was my first date with him. Oh my God, I didn't tell you guys this part of the story. So this was my first date with him. And I had on, at the time, I was not a wig connoisseur like I am now. So like, I had on this cute little, like unit or whatever. It was cute. It was very much giving, but I think I had a hairstylist put it on for me at the time. So you know what? It may have been like a closure that was like glued down front, whatever the case may be. I don't know if you guys are like this, but your girl is a sweater. I'm a sweater, especially when I'm really nervous. Like, I'm a sweater. I sweat. I hate it. I kind of have it under control now, but back then I really didn't. Like, I just be sweating, child. I just be sweating. And it was like cold outside. So you know when you're like walking and it's cold, but then you get into a place that's like warm and then it just sweats from like the weather change? That's what that was given. So I'm with him trying to be cute or whatever, and child, we went to the concession stand. Remember I was telling you we went to the concession stand? He was like, get whatever you want, da da da. I was like, oh, he got money. And I noticed that the guy at the concession stand was kind of looking at me funny. And this is my first time I ever been out with a white guy. So I'm like, is he looking at me funny because I'm out with this white man? Is this what's going on right now? So he kind of looking at me funny. I'm like, oh, he's looking at me funny because I look good. Like, what is it? What's going on? So then, girl, there's like a mirror or something behind him. I catch a glimpse. Tell me why, y'all, my wig. Tell me why my frontal closure, whatever it was at that time, baby, she was sliding back. She was lifting. I don't know what my hairstyle is at the time to cool it down, but baby, she was lifting up. And I had probably had it on for a minute, so like maybe it was me and just things like, she was lifting up. At that time, I really didn't know how to deal with like frontals and wigs. Today, it would never happen. But she was lifting up. She was very much sliding back. She was lifting up. And I was like, I know that you're lying right now. Mind you, I'm on a date with a man that does not understand what is going on. He does not understand the mathematical equation of what is going on and what is happening on my head. The wig is sliding back. My hair is coming from under. I'm seeing it sliding back. Mind you, when you do your makeup and you have a frontal on, you know, you didn't get your makeup all up under the frontal. So sliding back, now you're being able to see my makeup in my little mask. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, this is what you're looking at? You're looking at my frontal. You ain't gonna tell me like, you're not gonna tell me, you're not gonna help a sister out. And I'm like, nigga, dang, you're not gonna say anything to me? Bet. So I'm like trying to be cute, like I should have excused myself to the bathroom. I don't know why I did it. I don't, you know, sometimes when I'm nervous, I just don't be moving the way I should move. I don't be thinking the way I should think. So I'm just trying to be cute, like, I'm literally trying to be cute, like, you know how you kind of just adjust it and then you gotta hold it so that it just like stays. Child, I was so embarrassed. I'm sitting in the movie trying to hold the dog thing down, trying to get it back, like blending into my head. Girl, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, this man is never gonna want to be out on a date with me again. Because you know me, like I be put together, honey. I be put together. That's one of the things I pride myself on. Like I pulls it together, okay? 98% of the time I might be looking like a bum, but baby, that 2%, I pull it together. But I don't even know if he noticed like that. I always meant to ask him if he actually noticed that my wig, my frontal was lifting and it was trying to slide back on you, girl. But he probably did it. Okay, I couldn't even concentrate on that movie, honey, until he like, was trying to get up all on me. I was like, oh, you so good. But obviously he really didn't care because we dated for like a year after that. So it must have not been that big of a deal. But I'm just like, my wig, really? Of all times, of all days, of all times, best believe now, if I'm going out on a date, because you just never know what's going to happen, the wind will blow the wrong way, child. I might sweat. I might get splashed with water. It might start spontaneously raining, but that wig needs to be on. I don't care if you take that wig needs to be on at all times. Like, you really not about to really catch me slipping. Not got to be. Baby, that needs to be boho. That wig needs to be boho onto my head with the elastic band on melting for like 30 minutes. That wig gonna be on. You're not gonna be able to see no lace. No lace. But y'all, that is all I have for you guys today. I probably could do part 3, 4, 5, 6 of these stories. Like, I just have like I said, my life is really like sometimes in a series of unfortunate events. Like, it's just, and it's laughable at this point. I fall on pretty much every first date. It's always something, but it's part of my charm. It's part of what makes me me. Like, I'm a little bit of quirky, I'm a little bit of clumsy, I'm a whole lot of fun, but you know, it's part of what makes me me. And at some point, you really just have to laugh at yourself. Like, I don't want you guys to get discouraged about, you know, the mishaps you have on dates or the bad dates you go on, the bad guys that you meet. It happens to all of us. All of us. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter your skin color, how tall you are, your hair. It doesn't, none of it matters. It's just what happens. Like, literally, it's just what happens. Today is not the days of when my parents used to date, child. It just is not that time. So, listen, you just gotta, it's like riding a bike, girl. You just gotta get back on it. If at first you don't succeed, get yourself up and try again. Okay? And it might be 20 times, it might be 50 times, it might be 100 times, but the man or whoever that is meant for you comes around, then it's all gonna work out. Even if you have an embarrassing date, even if you have, you know, a mishap on the day, he's gonna stick around. He's gonna keep working with you. He's gonna, you know, feed you emotionally. He's gonna feed you in all different type of ways. He's gonna be everything that you want him to be. So but I hope that you enjoyed this video. I always have so much fun making these, you guys. Even though I'm posting this today, remember that there will be a new episode of Candidly Chrissy up on Sunday. I love you guys so much, babes, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah.